So this is our new kit for November, so that you can hang this in December. And I'm gonna take the poinsettias and put them aside. So here we have the snowshoes, and they're just 2 pieces, each of them. So we're gonna separate them. And this is gonna be very basic. You're gonna need some baby wipes, and you can use the chocolate paint in your kit. You always can use stain if you prefer, but I'm just gonna show you how to use the chocolate as a stain. So I'm just gonna get some chocolate on a plate, and I'm gonna spray it with some water. Okay. And I'm going to start applying it with this. I'm worried more about the center than I am the outside, because this outside rim is going to be covered. And you kind of want to move, you don't want to move too slow, because you don't want, this paint is going to start drying pretty quickly. All right, so once I know that I got it on there, I'm going to take my baby wipes and start wiping it back. You don't want to get this wood too wet. You know, you just want to get it on and get it off. Because I don't want this, and this is MDF, so we don't want to get that wet, too wet. So I'm going to take a paper towel, a microfiber cloth, something that's not going to leave, you know, you don't want any fibers left behind. And I'm just going to quickly dry it, just so I don't have to worry about the water. You do want to kind of always do the back of your projects. I just don't do it in the videos because I'm trying to do this as quick as I can for you. I always go back and do something with the back. So I'll put that one aside. And I'm going to do the same thing. Put that aside. And now I'm going to want to do the exterior. And then again, you want to make sure you're drying your pieces when you're done painting, because we just used a lot of water. Okay? Now we really want to give this a good dry before we start gluing it. You always want to make sure your paint is dry before you start gluing it. In these videos, it seems like I'm doing it faster, but I am going to allow these 2 pieces to dry, and then I will glue them together. Okay? So these are the poinsettias. They're all going to be painted pretty much the same. So I'm just going to make a couple rows of this tape. I'm going to put the buttons together. I'm going to do the second layer together. And then the back side. Republic Red. And now I need goldenrod. Okay. And now I'm just going to take that goldenrod from my sponge and just go around the edges of the poinsettia, all the parts. Now I'm going to start gluing the buttons to the top of the first layer and then gluing that layer to the base layer of all the poinsettias. Some of these parts are small and you can use a tweezer or a clamp to assist you with these small parts when gluing. When I add the two layers of the poinsettias together, I make sure when I lay the top layer down, I just twist it so that the points are kind of overlapping one another. Basically, you see a point between the points. I really hope I'm making sense. And I continued with all the flowers, large and small, the same way. So now I'm going to take my red and white jute. I'm going to fold the piece that you have in half. Or if your pieces are in two, I can't remember how we sent it, you want to glue both sides to the back. And then you can put the raffia, just take your whole grouping of raffia and put it on the back as well, using some glue. Sometimes hot glue is good for this particular portion of your project and allowing that to dry. Taking an art stick and kind of pressing the hot glue into all the material is helpful. And the trick is to allow your hot glue to cool, and that's where it's going to be its strongest. And then I'm going to take my two strips of the jute and I'm going to start gluing my smaller poinsettias from the large one, staggering them. I'm going to put the hot glue down and then lay the jute into that hot glue on the back. And then the next one, I'm going to go down just a little bit so that, again, they're staggered in a line, one longer than the other, going down the jute. So now I'm going to take the snowshoes and that outside rim and glue it together. You do not need a lot of glue. You're just going to do small dots here and there and just try to hit different parts of the shoe, only around the rim. I'm going to repeat these steps on the second snowshoe. I'm going to take both snowshoes and I'm going to put them in a V, making sure that the bottom is even. And I'm going to glue them together in this crisscross fashion. Then I'm going to take the poinsettias and I'm going to glue the large one from the back to my snowshoes. And then you want to cut all that raffia at the top off.